Today on Musicians Happy Hour, we are talking to Florida native band Stories End.
The trio recently made the big move from the Sunshine State to Los Angeles.
We'll be talking to them about the benefits of moving across country for their careers,
as well as all the struggles and pitfalls of LA.
So please be sure to subscribe to our channel and share the show with anyone you know who might be trying to make it as a do-it-yourself musician.
We will also be adding to links all things Stories End down below.
Hey guys, it's Musicians Happy Hour. This is Andy.
And this is Allison.
And we're here with Stories End.
I'm Michael, guitar and lead vocals.
I'm Troy. I'm drums and percussion.
And I'm Dan. I'm bass, the backing vocals, and the keys.
So I want to know how you guys all met.
We met working at a golf course in Orlando, Florida in 2010.
Which is where all rock stars meet.
Which naturally
On the
meet.
golf course, yeah.
And that's funny because the band that I was in prior to, we had taken a hiatus, and I didn't think I was going back to music until I met these two. So.
And then you guys formed a band around, not Nostalgic Creeper, but 2011?
August of 2011?
August, September, we went to record. Actually, no, we started earlier than that. We recorded a demo in Orlando. We recorded a demo for a demo.
Yeah.
Wait.
If that makes any sense.
Just
we thought, okay, so it was
more just to get ideas down on paper.
It was supposed to be a demo.
Okay.
That's how it started, and then.
Well, here's the thing. It's Daryl. His name is Daryl. Okay, and
Daryl
he works.
Vinegar.
Daryl Vinegar.
Okay.
And he works at A1H Studios in Jacksonville, Florida, and he is by far the greatest musical sound engineer.
We won't work with anyone else.
Period.
Nice.
So once we had this first demo in our hands and we listened to it, we knew that we needed the Daryl touch. So we went to go see Daryl in Jacksonville and redid the demo. So we made a demo to make a demo.
For the demo.
And what songs were
the first
on
ones?
the demo?
The first three we did were Reason for Now, Monster Meat, and The Truth.
The Truth, yeah. The intro.
Yeah. Which was always meant to be an intro.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So did you guys want to build your following in Florida then, or?
Florida has a music scene. It's just kind of different.
It's very sporadic. It's very transient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got so many tours coming in for Disney World that you know your audience is very fluid.
Yeah.
If you make a fan, they're only going to go home
And
later.
there's really great acts in town, but it's hard to get things stirring. Yeah, it's hard to get things stirring because you have so many people that are just coming and going, coming and going. So.
Another problem in Florida is you really need to be wearing a cowboy hat if you want to be appreciated.
Interesting.
Rock and roll, like what we appreciate as rock and roll, is kind of a dying thing.
Unfortunately.
You
either need to be a DJ or be wearing a cowboy hat.
Right, okay.
So it's shrinking, the scene is shrinking.
Yeah, the rock music scene in Orlando, it's sort of there, but it's not as focused as it is here.
Yeah.
Well, it was really smart of you guys to do your market research and realize that wouldn't take you very far to stay there.
It was, it was a lot of trying to talk to people. So we had friends that were out here trying to do things in the scene, and obviously we had friends down there, we had friends that were further up the East Coast, and we were just kind of doing feelers for like what makes sense for the sound and the look and the brand that we kind of
It kind of fell in three places really. It was it was Nashville, New York, or LA.
The obvious hubs,
Music capitals,
Yeah, I mean the obvious musical centers.
Right.
That was another thing. It was kind of like, if we're really going to give it a shot, it was something that we were really invested in. It was like it's now or never kind of situation where, either we're going to try to make it or we're just going to keep spinning our wheels in Orlando.
So did you guys have a backup plan? Like if this wasn't going to pan out, or was it just like we're going to pack
California?
up? Or was it just like we're going to pack up all of our shit and make it work?
That was it.
So basically the decision. So we've been toying with the idea. Obviously, we're kind of like it'd be kind of great to move out west and try and do the West Coast thing and all that. And then like a few things just kind of started falling in line, and it was literally probably like a month and a half before we moved that we decided, we're moving. It was eye-opening being like we're doing this. Like when we drove, like the road we always drive down back in Orlando, like when we drove out of it the last time, was just kind of like, okay.
Now we're jobless.
Let's do it.
So you came here and you're like, where am I going to sleep tonight? Like what was your first thought when you're like, oh, I made it, now what do I do?
And so we stayed at a few places coming out here. We have a dog too. So we had to find a place that would accommodate, a semi-truck sized thing and dog.
Yeah.
And that narrowed us down to like 3 hotels, and we called up one of them and said, hey, we're coming.
Okay, so you guys guys essentially, I mean, started off with 0 fans here, right? Because, I
Pretty
mean, none of your fans.
Right, well, we're new.
I mean, the obvious immediate goal is to build the fan base. We're trying to expand it so that people know who we are.
Yeah.
Is probably the
Number
Yeah.
one.
number one goal at the moment.
What have you seen has worked the most for growing your fan base? Has it just been playing out or social
Here.
media?
I would say shows.
Yeah.
Getting in front of ears, I think, is.
Definitely shows is playing out is still tried and true. I mean, the quickest, most convenient way to get your music in front of somebody is to stand in front of them and do it
Yeah.
the right way.
Yeah.
The challenge, especially in a market like Los Angeles, is the saturation.
Yeah.
There's so many shows in any given night to choose from.
Yeah.
How do you bring those people to that show?
Yeah.
Um,
Very true.
And then it goes back to the internet where people are listening
Yeah.
to it and then be like, oh, I'm gonna go see this guy.
Well, I met you guys through the OCML guys.
Yeah. That was
which
an
is,
awesome
like,
show, by the
Love those
way.
guys.
It's hard.
I don't remember what was the venue name. It was in Santa Ana, the Copper Door, right?
The Copper Door, yes.
we loved that place. That place was awesome.
He's.
I remember you two now.
Did you connect it?
I might be wearing the same outfit. So
Oh, you
maybe
say
it helps
something.
you guys. I was like, fuck, I think I'm wearing the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, it was a great venue.
Yeah.
Well, see, they were the first ones to reach out to us that didn't want us to pay to come and play.
Yeah.
Have you guys had a lot of pay-to-play offers?
Offers, yes.
Offers, we've probably done 3?
Two.
2?
We've done 2.
You've accepted to,
We've
okay.
accepted 2. The very first one we've ever done because we thought that's what we had to do. But
And that was,
For now.
well,
that was a
less
circus.
than, yeah.
So, one of the issues with obviously as being Los Angeles is that there's so many bands out here
Yeah.
that it's a market just totally saturated with whatever you're trying to do. You
Yeah.
can be the most unique thing on the planet, and there's probably somebody else doing it here.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
And trying to get the right shows, the right shows at the right places in the right areas
Yeah.
with the right other bands, so that you can,
Genre.
so that you can, build a fan base of people that are going to like your sound, are going to
Yeah.
want to come
Yeah.
back to more shows. Has been kind of a struggle, but we're
Yeah.
not that we're figuring out a pattern, but we kind of feel like we've got a better grasp on
Yeah.
it now. From a business
That was
standpoint, the retention has been good. People
Yeah.
that we've been able to do a great set in front of, and
Right.
Yeah.
that kind of circumstance where it was the right genres playing that night, and it was the right all that. It's been good to see them come to
Right.
more shows.
And let the promoters do that?
That you end up in a weird struggle because obviously, like you said, social media is one of the biggest promotional tools for the industry at the moment. We get a lot of pressure from when we do book a show, like, hey, you need to be pushing it on social media, you need to push it on social media. It's like, we have like 50 fans here, and we've always had a really quality social media following, and not necessarily the quantity that most people expect from a 4-year-old band. Promotions are harder, because it is that struggle. It's that people live on their cell phones, and obviously the cell phone is your access to everything, social media, and you definitely have to use it, but at the same time, nothing really beats just going out and saying, try this.
Yeah.
For some reason, a lot of bands have this every man for himself attitude. So where we're coming from and what we're trying to accomplish is some sort of unity
Yeah.
and bringing maybe a few like groups together to kind of rebuild or create some kind of a new scene
Yeah.
or bring one back or something,
Yeah, because in the days of old, I mean, that sounded
At least it seemed
weird,
At
but
least it seemed.
the days of old.
Yeah, like
You need a
Christmas
beard like
movie.
this
Yeah,
to say things like that.
Yeah.
In the days of old.
Yeah.
In the days of old.
Bands seem to, come together. There was a like sound, but not enough to where everybody sounded exactly the same. But they sounded, enough alike that
Yeah.
they grew the scene together. They put shows on and tours on together.
Yeah, it was more of camaraderie
Yeah,
there as
it's-
opposed to
Yeah.
And it's
starting to
starting
bring more people than they do.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
step on whoever you can step on to get yourself ahead, and we're all in it for this. We should all be in it for the same reasons, for the sake of music and bringing quality entertainment to people and putting smiles on people's faces. And
The thing is, there really is room for everybody.
We're also trying to come up with a gimmick too to kind of help set us apart, like
yeah.
maybe perform some magic on stage. Or
Mike's
Some
a big
acrobatics.
That'd be awesome.
So
Clowns.
after the third song, yeah, I saw a lady in a half.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
And maybe some
Alison
levitation.
volunteers.
Whoa.
You've been volunteered at least.
Apparently.
Back in Orlando, one of the greatest advantages we had is our living room was our rehearsal space.
Oh, nice.
So we lived in a giant, not giant, but we lived in a reasonably sized house where we could dedicate an entire room to our gear just being set up all the time.
Nice.
Not so much out here.
Yeah.
So being able to find somewhere that, you know, has the right affordability and, you know, has the equipment that's either close enough to what we are or allows us to bring in what we need for what we need to do, then they fit the bill. They've been
We do have an amazing EP coming out that we will be supporting with major touring.
major touring.
And we're very excited about it, and that's what we do.
I mean, thank you guys so much for coming out. Such
Of course.
amazing music.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope today's conversation helped make you a more business savvy musician.
Please send us any topics or questions you may have, and until then, cheers!